Good morning, Wildcats. Last week, our juniors took the ACT exam after months of preparation by themselves and the one and only John Baylor. Today, I sit down with the man himself to get to know him beyond the 19 grammar rules and bubble time. So let's start from the beginning. What was your childhood like?
My childhood was a little chaotic. My mom left my dad when I was 4, so I have no memory of them together. She moved back to Boston, where she's from. So I spent my childhood really between Lincoln, where my dad was a lawyer, and Boston, where my mom lived. So it'd be like 2 years in one place, 2 years in another place, every summer back and forth. So it was a little chaotic.
So how was your high school experience, like, sports or other activities you were involved in?
I retired from football after my sophomore year. I was pound for pound a really tough junior varsity defensive back, but when I quit and started running cross country, no one urged me to reconsider, and went on to be a captain of the cross country team and was a pretty good runner. I ran like 16:19 was my best time, and I should have run in college, frankly. And then in high school, I went on to be a varsity basketball player. I was a pretty good point guard, and then in baseball was my best sport. And I really could have played college baseball, but I went to Stanford, and they won 2 national championships when I was there, so they did just fine without me.
So you had mentioned you went to Stanford. So do you have any regrets, or just, what was your overall experience in that school?
Stanford's a great college, and most people love it. I just wasn't able to do my foremost passion. I wanted to play baseball, and it didn't happen there. So it was painful. That was really, really painful. So I'm not complaining. I'm just being honest that it was a tough thing to watch other people do what you love, which is another reason I really encourage students to attend only a school where they can meaningfully participate in one extracurricular skill.
So in the present day, you could say you're like the face of ACT prep here in Nebraska. So I was just wondering, how did this whole thing even start? How did you start such an empire of ACT prepping?
It really was unplanned. I never thought I'd be an entrepreneur. I never thought I'd be a business owner. I thought I was going to be a teacher, and I was just trying things that I thought would make me happy, and rather than go to law school, I went and tried to be an actor. And then after that, frankly, I moved back to Lincoln to be a sportscaster, and I still do that, but it's now very much on the side. I needed money really quickly because I was flying through my savings. And so I started tutoring. Very first family said, "Hey, my kids like you, why don't you prepare them for the SAT?" And that's how it all started. And I said, "Okay." And so I just, at that point, found a copy of an SAT test and figured it out. And then ultimately I moved back to Nebraska, Lincoln, my childhood home. And I thought, why not continue it here?
So you had mentioned you were an actor. So what was that experience like?
I was in a movie, which you should not watch, called Homeboys, with Todd Bridges. I was ambulance driver number 1. I'm in the credits. And I was in a bunch of plays in LA. I was in a couple plays in New York before I left to go to live in Los Angeles. I'm confident I could have had some success there, but by doing it for 2 years, I realized that this, even when successful, I wasn't necessarily joyous. And if you're going to pay that sacrifice, you better love it.
Thank you for watching your special edition on John Baylor.
Make sure to hammer that grammar.
This has been Gabe Paredes, Katie Willard, and Edison Geiler for the MWHS Wildcat News.